Tonight, the Ottawa Charge facing defeat, now fueling up for an electrified Game 2 in Montreal. Public transit update has many riders disappointed with slow progress, even though the new OC boss says he's not afraid of big moves. Plus, the Ford government facing heat over the jet purchase with new documents coming out. Good evening. A big night of hockey for this part of the country, and the PWHL is where we kick things off.
Overtime history in the playoffs. Clarity in front. 10. They score! Montreal steals Game 1 at home.
The Ottawa Charge fought a good fight in Montreal. This is Game 1 of the Walter Cup final. Both teams doing their best to be victorious, and the effort pushed the game into overtime. The first one, though, goes to Montreal with a final score of 3-2.
In three, for sure.
It's my first game that I've ever seen in PWHL, and it makes me really happy to see them win.
Absolutely fabulous. Who needs more than 3 seconds to score?
Oh, my feeling, it's good.
Yeah, when they scored that goal with 2 seconds left, yeah, that's why they're victoire. That's victoire hockey.
Montreal fans clearly happy with the outcome. Game 2 is back in Montreal Saturday afternoon before Game 3 in Ottawa on Monday night at the CTC. CTV Ottawa has extended coverage of the Ottawa Charge and their playoff journey. There are more stories online at ctvnewsottawa.ca.
And now, Davidoff again, fires, scores! There it is! His first!
Meanwhile, the Montreal Canadiens are one win away from securing a spot in the Eastern Conference Final. They won 6-3 tonight in Buffalo. Now for a first check on the weather forecast after a fairly damp day. We could still see a chance of showers overnight and some more rainfall tomorrow as well as Saturday. But things are looking good for Sunday and the holiday Monday, heating up nicely. When it comes to the next 24 hours, temperature-wise, 9 degrees around 7 a.m. Around lunchtime, we should be sitting around 16 degrees and then 22 degrees the daytime high in the afternoon. Again, you'll see some cloud coverage throughout the day. Those clouds could bring rain. The chance of showers overnight, and right now, again, we are sitting at 9 degrees. Also topping local news today, O-Train riders saw some double-car trains on Line 1 today for the first time in months. Even then, it seems no one is able to say in today's update when all the issues will be resolved. At today's Transit Committee meeting, Rideau Transit Group and Alstom spoke publicly about LRT issues for the first time since Line 1 service was reduced in January. Alstom said the redesign of the LRT axle could still take a couple years, and OC Transpo would not commit to a timeline to begin testing and launching O-Train in the East. CTV's Dyson has more details.
Sam Cadot pushes his work schedule back every day to avoid taking a packed LRT train.
At 9 a.m. it's pretty packed, so especially at the busier stations like Rideau or Parliament, you'd be lucky to get on the first train.
At City Hall Thursday, the train's maintenance provider, Rideau Transit Group, making a rare appearance answering questions about the beleaguered light rail system.
We can confirm that we're on track to restore full service for June, and the axle redesign will continue together with the prototype as we move forward.
Alstom, the maker of Ottawa's light rail trains, also in town to face questions.
We are very comfortable and confident in the design of the equipment that we've provided. These trains are in service in multiple different locations globally, and very comfortable with the safety and performance of our equipment.
The two groups still don't know what is causing all the train's problems, and an axle redesign will take years.
We're focused on the entirety of the system and the multiple root cause analyses that are ongoing. We have the initial root cause analysis associated with lateral loads, as well as the spalling root cause analysis that we're currently working on.
Some double car service started today on the LRT. OC Transpo is confident full service will resume in June, but still can't commit to an opening date for the East End extension.
At this time, we do not have sufficient number of vehicles to be able to open up the East End. And it's twofold. So we need to continue with the cartridge bearing assembly replacements to get those numbers up.
Councillors left unhappy with RTG and Alstom's answers on a return to full service.
Why are we not able to estimate an opening date? We have the carriages, we have the parts, We know how long the replacement takes. You should be able to map this out.
I'm concerned about the near-term Canada Day Blues Fest. That does not function without double train sets. And I'm really concerned about September and return to office. We've got to get this right.
In the meantime, riders are tired of waiting.
I've been around other cities in Canada, Europe, and that, and it's never seen anything like this. This is embarrassing, quite frankly.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
All of this as the new head of OC Transpo is tasked with saving the day. Rick Leary has now been at the helm for a month. Some say there's pressure to rescue the system, and he says he has some big ideas he thinks will help. Leary sat down with CTV's Leah Larocque for his first one-on-one TV interview today.
Right now, the LRT is running mostly single cars. The buses are late or don't show up, and riders don't trust the system. And now it's Rick Leary's job to change that. CTV Ottawa sat down with OC Transpo's new general manager, who says he doesn't think he's been tasked with an impossible mission, fixing OC Transpo.
Absolutely not. I got to tell you, the people before me have set the foundation for me to come into this job, and I believe I'm going to make a difference. I think the foundation's there.
His priority is fixing the light rail and isn't ruling out big moves like ripping up parts of the track or replacing the vehicles.
I don't disregard anything. You know, if I come to find out that that's what will make a difference long term, then a short investment today is better long term for the overall system. You know, but I have to assess it first. I don't want to commit to anything.
He says he still needs more time before committing to the Eastern Extension opening by Labor Day.
I need the rest of the information coming from RTG and Alstom on the materials management, the installation time frame for all the different vehicles.
Another big move, adjusting the bus schedule by September.
They don't get updated as regularly as they should. You can't get there from here, that type of concept. We have all these new technologies now, a clever device system that gives you the information on true travel times and time of day.
But riders have been promised a better working system before. Leary says he wants to earn back trust.
Trust, it's going to be earned, right? And so that's why our messaging is so important. Be honest about what we're providing today. I said it, 65 to 70% of the buses aren't leaving on time. A third of the time you can't get where you want to go based on our schedule.
Hoping that trust can lead to a bump in ridership that the cash-strapped OC Transpo so desperately needs.
If we start telling them what's fixed, and if they see it and they test it, my hope is they start using us more often.
Leary says it's his responsibility to make the system better for everyone.
There will be challenges, right? We still have old buses in this fleet, but if you don't start seeing some of the KPIs change, then you can hold me accountable.
Leah Larocque, CTV News.
From trains to planes now, the fallout from the Ford government's purchase and sale of a private jet is still dominating discussion at the provincial legislature. The focus now shifting to who should be on the hook for the associated costs. CTV's Siobhan Morris has more.
It's the big buy that just keeps hovering over Queen's Park.
For months, this premier was putting his hands in the pockets of the people of Ontario.
Newly released documents from the Premier's office show the government put a down payment on a $30 million jet in January. We didn't find out about the purchase until mid-April. The public anger was loud.
I believe it was the right decision, but if people don't want it, we aren't going to do it.
Doug Ford turned that jet around.
We gave it back to Bombardier, the exact same price. No one lost anything.
Though there were questions about whether there was more in the details.
Anything that is extra, or maybe there's nothing extra, we'll make it transparent.
We now know there were extra costs, more than $139,000 for aircraft maintenance, inspection, and training, another $33,000 for legal services, and $18,000 for acquisition support. The extra cash totaling nearly $191,000.
So I want to ask the Premier to stand up and tell us, will you pay the people of Ontario back for your midlife crisis gravy plane?
The Premier away from Queen's Park at a pair of events reporters weren't invited to. The Minister of Economic Development spoke for him.
The Premier has made his comments on the jet we're really focused on the economy.
No direct answer from government officials about whether a payback is coming.
No taxpayer should be on the hook for the Premier's private luxury jet, especially when he's been misleading us for weeks now that there would be no cost to the taxpayer.
The expense, a drop in the bucket in Ontario's $244 billion budget. But the interim Liberal leader says it's telling.
It's a Premier who's tired and lost his way because he doesn't understand the reality of everyday life in Ontario.
This is the last day MPPs are at Queen's Park before a week in their communities. But opposition leaders are determined to make sure the Premier wears his jet decision, whether he's at the legislature or not. At Queen's Park, Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
A transport truck driver is being treated for serious injuries following a crash on Highway 416 south of Ottawa. Ontario Provincial Police say the truck collided with a crash truck in the southbound lanes of the highway near County Road 21. The driver of the transport truck was taken to hospital. 3 Toronto area residents are facing charges in connection to distraction thefts in Ottawa's South End. Police received 6 calls for distraction-style thefts in the span of an hour on May 2nd. In each case, police say the suspects engaged victims in conversation to divert their attention while stealing valuables. Police seized gold necklaces, rings, and high-end watches. An Ottawa Taekwondo coach is being charged. Ottawa police say the charge is in connection to an alleged sexual assault that would have happened last summer. 50-year-old George Coe appeared in court today. Police are concerned there may be other victims. In other news, a new supportive housing complex in Ottawa's South End is being called a major step forward in addressing affordable housing and mental health challenges.
It's a great day, everyone.
A ribbon cutting took place for Ottawa Salis' new building on Capilano Drive. The 54-unit project is designed for older adults living with mental health, substance use, and housing challenges.
It's a day of great pride, but also humility. Humility that the community believes and supports the clients that we serve. And our community, our government, our funders, federal, provincial, local, have come together and made this happen.
The building will provide on-site supports, including mental health services, addiction support, and community programming for residents. Well, it was a fun night of fundraising and good food over at Ottawa's West Inn Hotel.
I am really delighted to be back here again on this special 30th anniversary of Evening in the Maritimes.
Evening in the Maritimes is marking its 30th anniversary. As you just heard, the annual soiree sees the community gather in honor of Able II. It's an organization that works to empower those living with disabilities, be it developmental or physical, and they don't discriminate on age. While the title of the event may give it away, lobster is certainly on the menu, and our very own Patricia Bull was the MC.
I try to avoid it completely. Yeah, I try to get into work early and get home early.
Coming up, construction season is upon us, and let's just say those who frequent the West End stretch of the Queensway are getting frustrated. Here's a live look at the Queensway right now. Things are smooth sailing this time of night, but again, you can see some of those construction cones on the Queensway. Some are out at Bronson right now, but again, that Pinecrest corridor is really frustrating people. So if you feel your commute along the Queensway from the west has become even worse, you're not alone. Drivers are expressing frustration at the newest construction project along the 417 near Pinecrest. CTV's Peter Szperling has the latest on that.
Slowing down to a crawl. It's mid-morning, well after rush hour, and this section of the 417 just before Pinecrest is barely moving.
I try to avoid it completely. Yeah, I try to get into work early and get home early.
Combined with other construction in the area, it's a commute Ben Dunn tries to avoid.
Terrible. It's pretty disruptive. Yep.
Highway 417 is a provincial highway, but the work being done here, Ontario's Ministry of Transportation says is being carried out by the City of Ottawa.
What are they doing exactly? I don't even really... Oh, it's light rail related?
Yes, the city says it's part of the ongoing Stage 2 expansion.
Lane closures or lane shifts are for Stage 2 work. It's associated with overhead signage that we're putting in along the 417 that has been bundled as part of our project.
According to the city, a lane shift is in place until July 28th, impacting a single lane in both the east and westbound directions. The area councillor says the traffic gets so bad at times, drivers are using other roads as a cut-through, including Iris, which now is limited to local traffic only.
We've got the local traffic only signs on Iris because it's causing pressure through Southwood, it's causing pressure through this neighborhood, and we're actively trying to get more police enforcement in the area.
The eastbound highway on-ramp at Pinecrest is also closed.
We just get used to it.
And other construction work along the 417 closer to the city make for a challenging drive.
Our base is in Orleans, and we travel the 417 constantly.
Back and forth.
Back and forth. And it's a nightmare.
Peter Szperling, CTV News.
It's 11:47 and time now for a closer look at that weather forecast. Our satellite radar picture showing cloud coverage all over the region, and we could see some more overnight showers. The green on your screen showcases the precipitation we saw earlier, which was a 70% chance tonight, but we know that we could also see some showers overnight and into tomorrow. Tonight, we will see a low in the single-digit territory, 7 degrees in Ottawa, Brockville, Kingston, 0 degrees over in Bancroft, so much cooler, hovering around that freezing mark. Kittigan-Zigbee, 4 degrees there. Pembroke, 2 degrees. Trenton, 6 degrees, so along the seaway, seeing similar conditions. 4 degrees in Gatineau, Maniwaki, 4 in Petawawa, 4. Mont-Tremblant seeing an overnight low of 7 degrees. Taking a look at tomorrow's daytime highs, we skyrocket into the 20s tomorrow. Ottawa, 22 degrees along the seaway, 20 degrees in Brockville and Kingston. Cornwall seeing a daytime high of 21. There will be a mix of sun and cloud coverage tomorrow. Again, there is a chance parts of our region will be seeing some precipitation as well. 20 degrees in Petawawa and Maniwaki. Some of the municipalities in our area will be in the high teens. They won't hit that 20-degree mark, but rather hover around 18 or 19 degrees. But things are certainly warming up. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast now. When it comes to Saturday, very similar conditions that we'll see tomorrow. A chance of rain, 23 degrees for the daytime high, so a little bit warmer. Overnight, the low will be 9, so back into single-digit territory before seeing a beautiful Sunday with a high of 21, blue skies and sunshine. Overnight, fairly comfortable as well. Monday, heating up to 25 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. And take a look at Tuesday, 30. But that holiday Monday, when most people are off from work, looking good.
You can go to Amazon and spend $200 or $300 and buy a tool to plug into your car and manipulate the electronic odometer all day long.
Coming up, odometer fraud on the rise. We'll explain on the other side of the break. If you're buying a used vehicle, you likely check to see how many kilometers are on the odometer. A new report suggests odometer fraud is on the rise and becoming a huge problem for car buyers. CTV's Pat Foran reports.
CTV News has done many stories on odometer fraud. Francisco Jardim bought a truck with 187,000 kilometers. Its actual mileage was 455,000.
I feel ripped off.
Dennis Estevez bought a vehicle with 184,000 kilometers. Its true mileage was 320,000.
Clearly, it was rolled back.
A new report from Carfax found last year in Canada it flagged more than 20,000 vehicles with rolled back odometers. They suspect the actual number that's been tampered with is much higher. With new technology, it's easy to do.
You can go to Amazon and spend $200 or $300 and buy a tool to plug into your car and manipulate the electronic odometer all day long. So that does not protect anyone.
The Ontario Motor Vehicle Industry Council, OMVIC, says its latest report shows more than 2,300 dealers, salespersons, and curbsiders were charged last year, resulting in $1.9 million in fines. About 1,500 cases involved curbsiders, and many of those involved odometer fraud.
They are going to try to make that vehicle look better than it is, and they're going to want to sell it for more.
The good news is that it's not just an odometer that records a vehicle's mileage. Most cars now come with a black box and several electronic modules that also record how far a car has traveled. A mechanic with a scan tool can find the true mileage fairly easily. To avoid rolled back odometers, purchase a used vehicle information package and a Carfax vehicle history report. Check the seller's ID to make sure they're the lawful owner of the car. Ask for service records and have the vehicle checked by your mechanic. While manufacturers could do more to stop odometer scams, Carfax says criminals are never far behind.
As quickly as the OEMs improve their technology, the hackers are figuring it out.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Canadians for Affordable Energy President Dan McTagg says prices will drop 4 cents a litre on Friday. The average price of gas will be around $1.91 a litre. Gas prices have jumped 8 cents a litre over the past 2 days.
I often couldn't concentrate. It was doing a number on my mental health.
Still to come, a ringing in the ears that should not be ignored. More on this shortly. The tulips are blooming at Commissioners Park. The Canadian Tulip Festival runs until Monday around Dow's Lake. You can go on a tulip trek, visit the tulip market, the Dutch Pavilion, and much more. Just a reminder, there are no fireworks at Tulip Festival this weekend. Well, tinnitus affects almost 40% of Canadians every year. It's a ringing in the ears that can be debilitating and even life-threatening in rare cases. CTV's Pauline Chan has more.
I first thought that it was my loud refrigerator and didn't realize, in fact, the hissing sound was coming from me, from my ears.
Jim Gray first experienced tinnitus in 2020.
Tinnitus is the perception of sound that is not actually in the environment.
I often couldn't concentrate. It was doing a number on my mental health. And I couldn't sleep at night without taking heavy medication.
It was so bad he feared he might end up taking his own life, like a few severe tinnitus patients he had read about.
I try to manage it through exercise, through diet, through acupuncture, even tried some cognitive therapy, which was helpful, but didn't attack the underlying problem.
Almost 37% of Canadians have experienced tinnitus within the past year.
Audiologist Maria Simone says tinnitus is often connected with hearing loss due to aging or loud environments. And in the absence of sound, the brain becomes hyperactive in certain regions. Last year, Gray traveled to the U.S. to try a new device called the Linear. It pairs sound from headphones with stimulus from a tongue-tip device.
It's completely changed my life. Within 3 days of trying the Linear, my tinnitus had been reduced by 90%.
Bimodal neuromodulation. Now that's a mouthful, but it basically means that bimodal means that we stimulate two senses at once, and neuromodulation means it makes changes in the brain.
CEO Ross O'Neill says the device has just been approved by Health Canada and is already used across Europe and the U.S.
The most important thing is that tinnitus patients get into the care of an ENT or audiologist, and then they can decide what is the most appropriate treatment for them.
Right now it costs several $1,000s, but the manufacturers hope the Linear will soon be covered by insurance. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Literally decades of Canadian innovation that put us in this situation.
When we return, space crew on a mission to bring a message to Canadians. Their tour continued today after being in the capital. Here's another live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The temperature right now, 9 degrees. And now let's take a final look at the weather forecast. When you wake up tomorrow morning, 10 degrees to start things off. Depending on what time you wake up, you could be seeing or facing some rainfall. Some slight winds gusting in from the northwest around 10 kilometers per hour. Nothing too strong to worry about. But look at that daytime high, 22 degrees. And then things heat up on Saturday and we see more sunshine on Sunday. Finally, for us tonight, the Artemis II crew continues their tour on Canadian soil. They paid a visit to the Canadian Space Agency headquarters this morning, and London, Ontario's Jeremy Hansen reflected on what he learned during the historic mission about Canada's contributions in space.
Nothing changed about what I thought Canada was capable of, but I sure did enjoy seeing it in real life and feeling it with my own eyes, and like being out there as a human in space representing our extraordinary country, the extraordinary work that we have talked about many times, Minister. Yep. Literally decades of Canadian innovation that put us in this situation. But I got to really feel it and live it. Mm-hmm. And now it makes me unapologetically proud and also kind of like, let's get after it and let's go do the next thing.
Unapologetically proud. What a beautiful sentiment. The astronauts traveled to the far side of the moon during last month's 10-day mission. They went further from Earth than any humans before them. Hansen says Artemis II is just a step on a much longer journey. As he says, let's get after it. That is CTV News for this Thursday, May 14th. CTV News continues online anytime with our digital team keeping you up to date at ctvnewsottawa.ca. You can also watch our newscast live on the CTV News app. And for news on the go, listen to News Talk Radio 580 CFRA. Have a wonderful night.